Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A new television ad is about to hit the screens in the Fargo-Moorhead area, part of a new campaign to combat domestic violence.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. This ad puts faces to those affected directly by domestic violence, attempting to bring more awareness to a growing problem in the Red River Valley. It's a new campaign involving a task force, law enforcement, and other local agencies.
He shot Mom, he shot Tony, he shot me. It's always in the back of my mind how quickly things can change. I can't stress enough, you can never be too safe.
Now tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10, you'll hear the tragic story of a family that lost their mother to domestic violence and how the new task force is expecting to step up.
4 adults are now facing charges with the robbery of Casey's convenience store at South University and 27th Avenue. Francis Osiris is the latest to be charged. He had been arrested earlier on an outstanding warrant not related to this holdup. In the meantime, 3 people arrested earlier in accused cases are charged with conspiracy to commit robbery. Patrick Jaden, Allie Blackbird, and Brandon Belgard all made their initial court appearances in Fargo today. A juvenile is also facing charges in connection with this holdup. Investigators say the robbers had a gun and a knife and forced employees at the store into the basement. Police say they also took the employees' personal property, along with money and other stuff from the store. The holdup was early on Thursday morning.
A couple of days from now, today's weather will have been forgotten. But until then, we need to deal with some of the coldest temps this winter. Here to explain what that means for you is Hutch. Hutch?
Well, it definitely means bundle up. Already, temperatures have sunk down to 8 below zero in Fargo-Moorhead. Now, thanks to the fact that we have calm wind, the wind chill is equal to the temperature. 5 below, but it feels like 22 below in Jamestown. And if you're in Lakes Country, Fergus Falls, struggling. It's 5 below zero. Now tonight, once again, wind chill will be a problem. Diving down to 25 to 35 below. Plug in the vehicle, and as you're heading out the door first thing in the morning, be aware it's going to be one more brutally cold morning. This evening, by the way, temperatures right around 10 below zero in the FM area. With south winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, wind chills will be close to 20 below. So definitely bundle up. Good news, though, in the extended forecast. A little bit of warmer weather to look forward to. I'll have details on that in a few moments.
It's always a good day when we start out on Monday with good news in the extended forecast. Thanks.
The North Dakota IT department is stepping up the tech security for all K-12 public school networks in the state. These networks house student information, and this upgrade to the system comes almost a year after the North Dakota University system server was breached, and more than 300,000 former and current students' information was hacked. The security upgrade is part of a 2-year statewide IT plan. On a local level, Fargo Public Schools IT Director Bill Westrick says the district is always making security upgrades each year to software. And Westrick plans to present an update of what they completed at tomorrow's school board meeting. How much do you know about your children's teachers? A new bill in the North Dakota legislature wants to seal employee personnel files. Labeled State Bill 2153, it says that if a complaint against an employee is brought to the school district or law enforcement, all records will be confidential until the issue is resolved. And that means you will no longer be able to find out the good or the bad things from a teacher's past. North Dakota United, a union representing teachers, supports it, saying it will only help investigators looking into school situations.
What this bill does, I think, is it enables an investigation to still take place by the authorities that are involved without negatively impacting the reputation of someone who has not been found to be guilty of anything.
Now, there are opponents to this bill as well, and if it's passed, it would change the North Dakota Century Code. It's still, though, in the early stages in the legislature.
The search for a new mayor has begun in Lake Park, Minnesota, after Mayor Aaron Wittenbull resigned on Friday. Tonight, the Lake Park City Council will meet to discuss replacements. The council can decide whether the deputy mayor will fill in or they can appoint another council member to the position. State law says the council doesn't need a special election to fill the spot. Wittenbull and City Council have had a tense relationship since March. That's when he was sentenced and pleaded guilty to financially exploiting his sister, who has Down syndrome. The first big fight has begun between the new Republican-controlled Congress and the White House over the Keystone XL pipeline. The Keystone pipeline is expected to pass the Senate, but not the president's desk. To avoid a veto, Republicans need to persuade 4 more Democratic senators to join the 9 who already support the Keystone Pipeline. Here in Fargo, activists are holding a vigil tomorrow, urging President Barack Obama to reject the Keystone XL pipeline. It's happening at the federal courthouse on 1st Avenue North at 7 tomorrow night. People with the Rainforest Action Network and the Sierra Club say that the vigil is part of a nationally coordinated campaign to stop the pipeline from threatening the climate and communities around the route.
Now remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook to follow all the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day.
We have new information now surrounding that deadly train school bus crash in Larimore, North Dakota last week. Tom Iverson of the North Dakota Highway Patrol says the autopsy on Larimore school bus driver Max Danner has been completed.
However, the Highway Patrol is saying that at this time no conclusion has been reached as to whether Danner suffered a medical issue which could have played a part in the crash. He says they should have a conclusion within the next few days. Meanwhile, a whistleblower is wondering why used equipment wasn't used at that exact railroad crossing, equipment that was available from another nearby crossing. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson investigates.
I feel so sad that somebody has to die in order something is even think of it getting done.
Carol Buchanan says a few years ago, flashing lights and a cross arm were taken down at nearby Arvilla after a road was closed. Buchanan says she asked BNSF to install that used equipment here at this deadly crossing.
They did have that equipment available at that time that I asked for it. And nothing was ever done, though they said they couldn't do that. And
did they say why they couldn't do it?
They just said it was more than just, I remember and recall her saying that there was more than just bringing the equipment from our villa to our crossing here.
Crossing expert Bob Comer claims he has documentation that railroads have sold their used equipment to Mexico or just thrown it away instead of using it at other crossings that need it. Comer says the railroad industry simply does not like to install flashing lights and crossing arms.
It costs a lot of money to maintain a crossing that has active warning devices. And unfortunately, the railroad industry's history has been one of bottom line profit.
In response, Amy McBeth of BNSF Railroad says in part, it is not possible to simply remove a signal system in one area and install it in another. Attempting to install used equipment at a different crossing would probably increase, not decrease, costs and could discourage the use of newer technology. McBeth adds that BNSF does not sell used signal equipment to Mexico. From Larimore, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Meanwhile, the Grand Forks County Commission will talk about putting in flashing lights and a crossing arm at that Larimore crossing during its meeting next week. However, the first estimate of the cost of the project was way off. Officials now say it would cost $400,000 to $500,000 to install safety equipment at the crossing. The State Department of Transportation has said that it will help with that cost. Now, if you ever need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline and we'll do our very best to get to the bottom of it. Just call 701-237-6576 and a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work exposing the truth.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, a magical moment, and it's all captured on camera.
Below zero all day in Fargo-Moorhead. We did manage to get a 0-degree reading in Grand Forks. Some warmer weather is ahead after another brutally chilly night. Your forecast is next.